And hello again, my fellow truthers. Welcome to the main conspiracy. I am Jeremy. This will be episode 13, so hang on to ya butts, because you're definitely going to learn more. Isn't that great? All right. I remember that I think the last couple episodes I left out predictions. So I got a couple for you on this one. And keep in mind that these are not fact. They're only predictions. If they actually happen, then I guess you can put them in the category of fact. So, what I have is April 15th of this year. A large scale earthquake will strike the Pacific Northwest region of North America. Seattle and Portland will suffer significant damage. May 3rd of this year, protests will erupt in Brazil over a newly passed austerity package. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that right. These will quickly turn violent, spreading to neighboring countries within a week. The death toll will surpass 200 by May 9th. May 18th, a major diplomatic incident will occur when the Indian embassy in Islamabad is stormed. I'd like some good predictions like May 11th, everything will go back to being good and this is only one giant fucking nightmare, but it's not the world we live in right now, so. Alright. Okay. The earthquake in the Pacific Northwest will register 6.8 on the Richter scale and will be followed by numerous aftershocks. Seattle's waterfront will suffer significant damage and several older buildings will collapse. The death toll will reach 137 with over 500 injured. I really hope I'm wrong on that. So there's your predictions for this episode. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So, with all of that said, how's everybody feeling tonight, today, wherever you're watching from? Anybody else feeling kind of like tired, run down, just not in the mood for anything? Well, you're not alone. I'm with you. But we can rise and we shall rise above it. We got to keep moving forward, guys, no matter how bad shit gets. Oh, the human race will prevail. This evil will be shunned from this plane, from this realm. May take a long time, but we can do it. We will do it. But we all got to stop believing the mainstream and start coming together. Unite. Love one another. Accept one another. And this evil shall fall. It will. I feel it within me. And I know you do as well. And if you don't, well, you better start doing something. So let's jump into this episode. Get ready. Get your notepads. Get your sound recorders. Whatever. Save this video. Make it go viral. Feed the algorithm, man. Gotta get the truth out. No matter what it takes. Episode 13. Let's go.
The thing is, every scientist that I know that's studying DMT, not one of them thinks it's a hallucination.
What do they think it is?
I think the more familiar someone is with DMT, the less certain they are about what the hell's going on. But everyone, literally everyone who uses DMT pretty much goes to the same exact places. And they all meet the same entities, the same 7 or 8 different types of entities. And it's been the same for 4,500 years of recorded history with DMT. And DMT is something we make in our own body. It's an endogenous chemical.
Has it changed your perception of what reality really is?
100%. Yeah. It's so much more real than this reality. It's like, it's so ineffable. There are no words that can describe it, but it's 1,000, maybe 1,000,000 times more real than this in such a way that just coming
80 doctors who have cured cancer died within 3 years. In the summer of 2015, something deeply strange began to happen across the United States. In just a 90-day window, 11 cancer doctors were found dead under suspicious circumstances. The first was Dr. Jeff Bradstreet, a renowned physician who had been researching a protein called GCMAF. GCMAF is a naturally occurring protein in the human body that activates the immune system and has shown the ability to literally destroy cancer cells. But before he could publish his findings, he was found dead in a river with a single gunshot wound to the chest. Within weeks, Dr. Bruce Hedendal and Dr. Baron Holt were both found dead with no clear cause. One after another, they kept dying. What connected all of them was that they were actively researching natural and alternative treatments for cancer.
And the kids were not always enthusiastic about the food that they were being served, so they were always trying to call for pizzas. And you can't order a pizza to the White House.
Would love you to come over for pizza, bud. How was the pizza? Was it good?
Oh, what?
Did he make it
Mom's
himself?
pizza was better than Clooney's. They both made, everybody made a certain kind of pizza.
There's no pizza we didn't love.
Something.
Should eat pizza. I was like, well, no, I don't want to. And then, because I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to. Where did we go? We went True Kitchen.
Hold on a second.
I shouldn't promote things.
Let you to promote whatever you want, but I need to take a step back because you just said something crazy. What do you mean, why would you want to eat pizza? I don't know, why get up in the morning? Why?
When he handed out the pizza, Harrison Ford grabbed a slice. He was very hungry. I saw him take a big bite. I looked over my shoulder, right down his throat. Yeah, true story.
They brought me my piece of pizza. I took a bite. I couldn't fucking believe it. Best pizza I've ever had in my life.
Tom Hanks was just beyond nice. You know, when we were filming Cloud Atlas, he would put on a Sunday movie night at his house every single Sunday. And he would invite the cast and the crew, and we would all go and kick it back at his house, watch a movie, and he'd order a load of pizzas. You know.
Companies that are being sued right now for having cancer-causing ingredients in their products. So if you're currently using any of these brands or ever have, then you could be eligible to file, and they could owe you some money. Number one, ain't nobody surprised, is Starbucks. They're being sued for $40 million for having chemicals in their coffee. By chemicals, I'm specifically talking about VOCs, which are in paint thinners, paint removers, nail polish removers, all that stuff. And so disgusting. As soon as I heard this lawsuit, I just stopped drinking Starbucks completely. This might explain why the coffee always made my stomach hurt and kind of tasted like acetone. This next one is Chobani yogurt. Yeah, they found phthalates in Chobani yogurt. If you don't know what phthalates do to the body, Google it. That pretty much causes cancer. And this last one is Colgate toothpaste. This one's actually really scary. It's for the Hello Kids Colgate toothpaste. Pretty much they found a substantial amount of lead in it, and our kids are swallowing that. And I know that one's not necessarily cancer causing, but it's lead, maybe lead poisoning. Any amount of lead in the body is not great. Colgate one's really the only one that's actually active right now. So you fill out forms right now to file for the Colgate lawsuit. You can actually get $250. The Starbucks and Chobani, those are still ongoing, so they're upcoming.
9/11 started as commercial insurance fraud. It was known in 1988 that the Twin Towers were condemned. because they didn't want to pay the $2 billion to dismantle the buildings the hard way. Controlled demolitions was forbidden. When that was briefed to Dick Cheney as Secretary of Defense, I believe he said, "Praise the Lord, this is going to be a terrorism event that will give us a reason for invading Iraq and Afghanistan." And at that point, the 9/11, which was planned and executed by the Zionists, which is not the Jews. When I say Zionists, I'm talking about what's called the Red Mafia. That's the Russians, Israelis, and Americans who are a criminal network that happens to control Benjamin Netanyahu. It does not control Donald Trump. People don't understand that Trump is biding his time. The NSA is not about solving problems or making America safe. It's about keeping the money moving. The second reason that the program was canceled was because it was starting to reveal all of the Americans who were complicit in 9/11. The problem we have in the United States is that the intelligence community is all about spending a great deal of money doing very...
Not only did they erase Tartaria, 1776 was the year everything changed. In 1776, the Illuminati was founded in Bavaria. The Rothschild banking empire began its global expansion. The American Revolution broke out. Tartaria began to disappear from the maps, all in the same year. Coincidence? Tartaria was not a myth. It was a vast, ancient civilization with advanced free energy technology, great architecture using sacred geometry, a harmonious way to live with natural law, knowledge of the ether. They buried Tartaria, literally, with mud floods, natural disasters, and a new history. Once they buried the old world, they created the new one. Central banks, slavery by debt, maritime law, artificial scarcity, indoctrination through education, all funded by the same families. The Rothschilds didn't just fund empires. They funded restarts and deleted everything that didn't serve the system of control. Tartaria was way too free, way too advanced, way too powerful. So they turned everything upside down.
Behind the transgender movement?
Yes, it gets its origin in Zionism, and it gets its origin in the Talmud, Zohar, and Kabbalah. It's a Kabbalistic doctrine of Adam Kadmon, which is eventually they have this doctrine called Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. So how do they want to repair the world? They want to bring it to the original. Who was original Adam? He was androgynous. So now they're putting specific things in food and drink, and they're basically their end game is to make humans that on Earth that will survive whatever it is they're bringing androgynous.
Sexes, genders in the Talmud with many mentions. Let's get into what they are. There's Nakeva and Zakar, the two you hear as female and male. Androgynous for an intersex person with both female and male sex characteristics. Assumed to a person with obscured or unclear sexual character.
We now know, with peer-reviewed study, that bees are testing with 70 times more aluminum in their system than what it takes to cause Alzheimer's or dementia in a human being. It's a wonder any of them are alive. 70 times more. And this is important as well. When you have somebody from some agency who's paid to lie, who tells you it's normal to have aluminum everywhere because it's a very abundant element, that is a lie of inaccuracy. Aluminum is very abundant in the environment, yes, but it does not exist in the environment in free form. It doesn't exist in free form. It must be mined and refined and sprayed for it to be scattered everywhere in the environment, and that's exactly what's happening. It's not just the bees that are dying. Every single one of us is being contaminated. These materials are bioavailable. They're building up in our systems, and it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. It doesn't matter. It's a fact. We have the lab test to prove it. There will be no hiding this issue much longer. And what does it appear? The chemical signature for what's showing up in rain tests matches coal fly ash, a substance that the EPA has told us is not harmful. They've been trying desperately to get rid of, and it seems to suit the purposes for geoengineering, and evidence is increasingly indicating that toxic coal fly ash may be one of the base materials they're using to spray because it gives them plausible deniability.
God's puffy clouds, and then you see all that haze. Yeah, all that haze is chemtrails. It's funny how we don't have any energy, and some countries have no energy whatsoever. Yet we have jets that can fly around and spray the skies. There he goes, spraying his garbage in the sky. But I thought we had a fuel shortage. No, there's no fuel shortage. Spray, 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 spray them like bugs. Chemtrail. You know why I think they call them chemtrails? I think it's just skywriting, because chemtrail equals 44, which is genocide. No shortage of fuel to spray you like bugs. So, no worries about that, people. I want to know if you have chemtrails in your area right now while we have this fuel shortage. The other thing I want to say is good. Let them blow up all the oil. We don't need oil, people. It's only been about 150 years since we used oil, right? Because when the Masons destroyed Tartaria, they had to get rid of a few things. The first thing they had to get rid of was free energy. All these buildings, all these fancy cathedrals, all these fancy state capitals, they all draw free energy. The second thing they had to get rid of was radium. Radium heated everybody's house, man. Radium cigarettes, it was good for you. So they came out with nuclear power is dangerous. I'll bet you they're burning radium in these nuclear power plants, and it's totally safe. Remember the guy said you could eat it? The other thing had to get rid of was the fact that you can talk to dead people. So they used Houdini to do that. Harry Houdini is 3444, which is murder genocide. You know, just like Elon Musk's Twitter deal, which Twitter is 34, and he paid 44 billion, which is 34 murder, 44 genocide. So they had to get rid of that too, in order to sell oil. So why don't we just tell all the oil companies, turn it off, man. Turn it all off. We'll just build free energy, man. There's all kinds of guys coming out with free energy machines. We know how to do it. Just copper, red mercury, and a ball on top of a building, and it just draws in free energy. Radiation is not dangerous. There's no such thing as a nuclear bomb, right? So good. Turn off the oil, man. Turn it all off. We'll be all right. We'll be all right, people. We'll be better off, man. And guess what? The reason why Rockefeller and the Masons had to destroy all that stuff, like free energy, radium, and the fact that you can talk to dead people, which is the secret of Freemasonry, is so they could sell oil. And now look at the world. Oh, what about the oil? What about the oil? Who cares? Turn it all off. I say turn it all off. Let's go back to etheric energy, radium, right? And expose these people who talk to the dead and possess demons inside of them. We need to get rid of them again. The secret societies who commit non-stop genocide. Live chat tonight and every Sunday night on Telegram, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Tonight's topic, chemtrails. How can we have an energy shortage when we have a sky full of chemtrails?
Hey, this is Kai Simonson.
The camera op on board Chopper 5 was WNYW reporter Kai Simonson.
Well, I knew that the plane was coming in because the pilot told me. Well, the pilot said that the guy was flying really low, and he was heading for the tower.
The obvious thing then would be to point the camera at the airplane and follow it. Instead, Simonson zooms, and zooms, framing a shot of the towers. The airplane image enters the picture within one video frame. That's 1/30th of a second. What are the odds of that? By the way, Kai Simonson is not just a reporter for Fox 5. He also specializes in video compositing. In 2001, he was advertising his services of green screen compositing, helicopter videography, and an Avid system. Exactly the system needed to insert an airplane in real time. What are the odds of that? In any case, check out what happens next. The nose of the airplane appears to pop out the backside of the tower, exactly the problem that could occur with live compositing. But wouldn't Kai Simonson have thought to mask off the left half of the screen? Of course he would. The shot was designed to have the south tower right in the middle. A mask on the airplane layer prevents it from ever escaping the back of the tower. The plane would begin to disappear behind the edge of the tower, and the tail would slow down somewhat and we would imagine that that was because the nose and wings had impacted the wall. But helicopters cannot hold still, they drift. We've already seen that Chopper 5 was late getting into position. The shot begins okay, but the camera drifts far enough so that the back edge of the tower is now outside the mask area. Simonson must have realized his mistake and quickly faded the picture down to black. When picture fades back up, all trace of the nose is gone. But it was too late. We saw Pinocchio's nose.
Watch how the aircraft penetrates the building. Completely in one side and out.
1, 2, 3 of us and your brother. 4, we filed for patents. And then here's a friend of yours who's with us. So 5 of us filed for patent. If we die before the patent is granted, then your brother, who wasn't on the plane with us, he owns them all. So those 4 scientists, and the 5th person was the Carlyle Group. They own them all now. The patent was granted 3 days after the plane was listed.
Rabbi Shmuley is a Zionist fucking pig. Here he is, right on camera. Hi, everybody. I have no problem saying it. Rabbi Shmuley.
Say your name.
I'm Salvo, baby. I have no problem saying
What's your phone number?
I mean, out the gate, very strong tactics here. Coming in with the, oh, what's your name? Say your full name. Asking for the guy's phone number. Classic victim tactic.
Why would I give a Zionist?
Say it all. Say it all. Say it all.
Zionist pig, relax. Why would I give a Zionist? Why would I give?
Holy shit! That is textbook play there. Sees a cop, instantly runs to the cop. Love that. I don't trust people that run towards cops, frankly.
I have it on video. I have it on video.
Crime? He's threatening me?
I called him a Zionist. I didn't touch him.
He came over to me and I filmed the
I have it on video. I just talked to him. I didn't touch him.
My life.
No, I didn't.
He has to be arrested, please.
I have it on video.
Please,
no, I didn't.
he has to be arrested.
They know who you are, bro.
Please, sir, he has to be arrested.
See, this is advanced. This is a bit of an advanced play. Not for beginners, but making up a fake attack charge, making up a fake assault crime, which could inevitably lead to like this man being arrested, all sorts of trouble for this random person who, for the record, did not attack him. That is phenomenal victim card playing there. Yeah. Really, it's, yeah. This guy's a prodigy.
Rabbi Shmuley, what happened to dialogue? What happened to dialogue, Rabbi Shmuley? Is this your husband? You let him in the street acting such a fool. Oh, I didn't.
You invaded my personal space to harm me.
I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to say he's a Zionist pig.
Damn, son. Okay. Maybe you are a victim. Because your wife looks like fucking Mitch McConnell in a wig. Anyways, my bad, homie. I didn't know you were dealing with that. Jesus Christ.
And this copper goes down into the bottom of that plane. It goes west, comes out, goes underground, goes into this one, underground, it goes through all of them. Then you bring it over here, and it's hooked up to the bottom of this aluminum pole, and they got a big zinc bolt in it, so it causes an electromagnetic field. You go around, and there's no bugs here, no bugs. That all grew in 5 days, everything doubled in size. That one from here to there. This is spilling over. That grew about 1.5 feet in 5 days.
Lock in and listen up, my sweet little kitten. There's rumors circulating about a potential energy lockdown that's headed our way. I want you to really sit and ask yourself, are you going to let yourself be affected by this? Or are you going to keep it pushing like normal? Let's talk about it. Everyone is pondering on the idea of an energy crisis that's headed our way, which could potentially lead to a lockdown far more intense than COVID. But guess what? It doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter if the government decides to lock everything down again. Because you, my friend, carrying the burning fire of rebellion within you, are simply not going to comply. It's really that simple, twin. Believe it or not, but you have free will. You actually don't have to comply with any government mandates. It's as easy as simply standing on business and not allowing yourself to be consumed by fear. If the government doesn't want you driving, turn on that Nissan Altima and hit the road. If the government wants you to stay inside, simply go outside. If the government wants you to consume less food, just eat more. It's as simple as standing on business and not allowing for parasites to control your life. They will throw every fear tactic they have under their belt at you. They will conduct psychological warfare on such a mass scale just to get you to comply. But ultimately it's up to you as to whether you choose to stand on business or not. Look at these potential lockdowns as something awesome. Look at it as an opportunity to unleash your rebellious spirit and allow yourself to feel safe knowing that you're standing on your moral code. Take the necessary measures by preparing yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually, of course. But don't be a sissy. There is literally nothing to worry about, friend. Because when you stand by your moral code, you actually end up more than okay at the end of the day. Take the time to declutter your mind and come back to your senses, and be excited to break some new rules. If this post served you in any way, consider checking out my Substack in my bio.
You know, a couple 100 milligrams over an hour or more, does seem to have, like, you feel, what do I want to say? Like,
refreshed.
Yeah, for sure. Like anti-inflammatory. You feel lubed up. Like your body just feels good. And it is, I do want to say it's temporary. But during that time frame, you just feel really good. And a lot of people feel incredibly rested after the experience, believe it or not. We've had 2 people actually fall asleep. And it's like, that's just what they needed, you know, like they just needed some sleep. We did an EEG on Haley and her brain literally just turned off and went to sleep, you know, like
frontal lobes, like default mode network turned off, fully immersed in the experience, but it was.
It's that. Let me see that. Okay.
Mr. President, we have...
You know what? They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure, you know?
What?
The memory erasure. They erase my memories. It's a little foggy.
They just took down my Cheerio post. I am livid. If you didn't see it, I'm still going to show what I did here. My child tested positive for lead in her system, and I took a lead test, one of these little swabs, and I tested a bunch of Cheerios. And the Cheerios, as you can see, popped pink. Pink means lead detected. So I don't know why they would take that video down for misinformation when clearly I'm showing the facts right on the screen. I'm just so sick of just because we're spreading awareness and we're spreading truth, they're not going to let us talk about it. That's great. Throw out your fucking Cheerios and stop giving them to your kids because apparently they have lead in them.
Hello. My name is Montague William III. And what I will tell you may well sound absurd, but the less who believe it, the better for me. For you see, I'm in banking and big industry. For many a year we have controlled your lives, while you all just struggle and suffer in strife. We created the things that you don't really need, your sports cars and fashion, plasma TVs. I remember it clearly how all this begun. Family secrets from father to son, inherited knowledge that gives me the edge, while you people lie sleeping at night in your beds. We control the money that controls your lives. Whilst you worship false idols and wouldn't think twice about selling your souls for a place in the sun. These things that won't matter when your time is done. But as long as they're there to control the masses, I just sit back and consider my assets, safe in the knowledge that I have it all, while you common people are losing your jobs. You see, I just hold you in utter contempt. But the smile on my face, well, it makes me exempt. For I have the weapon of global TV, which gives us connection and invites empathy. You would really believe that we look out for you, while we bankers and brokers are only a few. But if you saw that, you'd take back the power. Hence, Daily terrors to make you all cower. The panics, the crashes, the wars, and the illness that keep you from finding your spiritual wholeness. We rig the game, and we buy out both sides.
The Matrix is older than you know. I prefer counting from the emergence of one integral anomaly to the emergence of the next, in which case this is the 6th version.
5 months before me. There are only 2 possible explanations. There were 5 months before me. Either no one told me, or no one knows.
Precisely. As you are undoubtedly gathering, the anomaly is systemic, creating fluctuations in even the most simplistic equations.
I'm gonna smash you to You can't make me do anything like that.
Choice. The problem is choice.
The first Matrix I designed was quite naturally perfect. It was a work of art, flawless, sublime, a triumph equaled only by its monumental failure. The inevitability of its doom is apparent to me now as a consequence of the imperfection inherent in every human being. Thus I redesigned it, based on your history, to more accurately reflect the varying grotesqueries of your nature. However, I was again frustrated by failure. I have since come to understand that the answer eluded me because it required a lesser mind, or perhaps a mind less bound by the parameters of perfection. Thus the answer was stumbled upon by another, an intuitive program, initially created to investigate certain aspects of the human psyche. If I am the father of the Matrix, she would undoubtedly be its mother.
The Oracle.
Please. As I was saying, she stumbled upon a solution whereby nearly 99% of all test subjects accepted the program as long as they were given a choice, even if they were only aware of the choice at a near unconscious level. While this answer functioned, it was obviously fundamentally flawed, thus creating the otherwise contradictory systemic anomaly that, if left unchecked, might threaten the system itself. Ergo, those that refuse the program, while a minority, if unchecked, would constitute an escalating probability of disaster.
They didn't just die. They were erased.
Says the Swedish DJ and producer died in Muscat, Oman.
Because 4 global icons, all connected to the same rumored project, don't vanish by accident.
More breaking news right now. Linkin Park singer Chester Bennington reportedly has committed suicide. Authorities say he hanged himself.
Not Avicii. Not Chester Bennington. Not Chris Cornell.
Rapper Chris Cornell has died.
Not Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain has died at the age of 61.
Every one of them carried the same rumor. A documentary called The Silent Children. A project tied to trafficking, elites, and names that were never supposed to surface. And then, one by one, they were gone. Chris Cornell found in a Detroit hotel. Chester Bennington 2 months later. Anthony Bourdain in France. Avicii in Oman. Official story? Suicide. Unofficial reality? People started connecting dots they were told not to connect. How does a documentary disappear the same moment its rumored creators do? How do 4 voices go silent right before they were allegedly about to speak? Coincidence? Or a message? Because if what they were working on was real, it was too dangerous to finish. So the real question isn't what happened. The real question is, who needed them gone before the world found out?
گله میکنن که چرا ملت ایران میگن مرگ بر آمریکا. اولا بنده این رو برای حضرات بزرگان آمریکایی روشن کنم. مرگ بر آمریکا یعنی مرگ بر ترامپ و جان بولتون و پومپئو. مرگ بر اینا یعنی مرگ بر سردمداران. ما به مردم آمریکا کاری نداریم. مرگ بر آمریکا یعنی مرگ بر شما چندتایی که اون گروهی که دارید اداره میکنید کشورتون رو. مراد اینه. حالا در این دوره اینان، در دوره دیگر هم دیگران. بحث ملت آمریکا نیست. ثانیاً تا وقتی که دولت آمریکا و رژیم آمریکا همین شرارت، همین دخالت، همین خباثت، همین رذالت رو در اعمال خودش داره، این مرگ بر آمریکا از دهان ملت ایران نخواهد افتاد.
10 million people showed up for the No Kings rally yesterday. And what were they protesting? They don't even know what a king is. King equals 23, which is 5, right? It happened on 3/28/2026, which is 23, which is 5. And do you know who the new king is? It's the courts. Court equals 23, which is 5. You know who they need to protest? They need to protest the eye of providence. But I didn't see anybody protesting the secret societies. Why? Because eye of providence equals 86, which is 14, which is 5, right? 5. We need to protest 5, people. We need to protest the secret societies. But anybody out there wearing a shirt like this? Or waving a flag like this? No. Because why? Because they were all liberals. Because liberal is the new code word for occult. Liberal equals 32, which is 5. And now did you see that Donald Trump is going to put his signature on money? Do you know why they are putting Donald Trump's signature on money? Because it is more covert signaling by the occult. Donald Trump is 57, which is 5G, which is the Mason logo, right? Just like Providence is 57, which is 5G, which is the Mason logo. Just like Supreme Court is 7-5, which is G5, which is the Masonic logo. Supreme equals 34, which is murder. Court equals 23, which is 5. 5-7 or 7-5, 7 equals 20, 5 equals 24, which is what? 44 genocide. So Supreme Court is 7-5, Providence is 5-7, and Donald Trump is 5-7. So Donald Trump on the money is really just putting another eye of Providence on the money. And Providence is 57 because 57 is the Mason logo. And Donald Trump is 57 because it's really just putting another eye of Donald Trump, eye of Freemason, eye of Providence. Do you get it yet? We need to get 10 million people in the street to protest the secret societies and wave these flags because this is a constitutional republic. Maybe you'll start to understand, people. Get out and protest the Freemasons. Sign, share, and promote the Full Disclosure Act, people, every single day. Because what's going to happen? We're going to vote in a communist party next election. Yeah, that's what all these liberals protesting means. They just go from left to right? They get pissed off at the right, so then we go to the left. And they get pissed off at the left, then we go to the right. It's called the Hegelian dialectic. Sign, share, and promote the Full Disclosure Act. Wear Lethal 22 clothes. Peace.
Thank you very much. Wish everyone a happy Hanukkah.
Years of my own research and the research of others, the proofs of the Holocaust are few. Literally, all there is are the eyewitness testimonies and post-war confessions. There is no picture, plan, or wartime document dealing with homicidal gas chambers or a plan to exterminate the Jews. It was the British who obtained, by torture, the confession of Rudolf Höss, Commandant of Auschwitz, before turning him over to the Soviets and Poles. This has been confirmed in a book published in 1983 titled Legions of Death, which contains the recollections of British Sergeant Bernard Clark, who brags about having tortured Höss to get a confession out of him and of threatening his family. It was here that Höss was hanged. We can't use the excuse that the Nazis destroyed all the evidence, because after we had broken the German code, we were able to intercept their secret transmissions, including those that came from Auschwitz. The key to understanding the Holocaust story is understanding the true nature of the things passed off as proofs. Everything that is used as evidence of the Holocaust also can be said to have a perfectly normal explanation. For example, these exhibits are said to be the material proofs of exterminations. There's the piles of human hair. But what does that prove? It's acknowledged that each inmate had his or her head shaved because of the lice problem. That's not denied, so why wouldn't there be piles of human hair? What about the piles of shoes and clothing? Is that a proof? It's a fact that the prisoners were issued a uniform upon arrival, including shoes. So why wouldn't there be piles of inmates' shoes and clothing? It doesn't prove anybody was killed. What about the canisters of gas? No one denies that Zyklon B was used to disinfect clothes and also buildings. Zyklon B was one of the premier pest control agents in Europe at that time. It was present in most of the concentration camps, including those that are not said to have had homicidal gas chambers in them. The typhus epidemic that spread throughout Europe during the war and also spread through the camps called for stringent lice control procedures. So what other proofs are offered? Well, there's the usual pictures of sick inmates, which proves the groundbreaking thesis that people got sick in the camp. Once again, I'll add that nobody denies the typhus epidemic, which resulted in many deaths. Then there's the artwork and the pictures of children, but at this point it's looking pretty bad for somebody.
As for the crash site itself, from the Somerset County coroner to the mayor of Shanksville, almost every eyewitness would remark how little of the plane and its passengers remained at the actual crash site.
We have rescue vehicles that came in earlier in the day and they have turned up nothing. No one believed to be alive from this crash within the last hour. I want to get quickly to Chris Kanicki. He's a photographer with the Pittsburgh affiliate of Fox affiliate. He was back there just a couple of minutes ago, and Chris, I've seen the pictures. It looks like there's nothing there except for a hole in the ground.
Basically, that's right. The only thing you could see from where we were was a big gouge in the earth and some broken trees. We could see some people walking around in the area, but from where we could see, there wasn't much left.
Any large pieces of debris at all?
No, there was nothing that you could distinguish that a plane had crashed there.
Smoke, fire?
Nothing. It was absolutely quiet. It was actually very quiet. Just a couple of people walking around. They looked like part of the NTSB crew walking around looking at the pieces.
How big would you say that hole was?
From my estimates, I would guess it was probably about 20 to 15 feet. Long and probably about 10 feet long or 10 feet wide.
What could you see on the ground, if anything, other than dirt and ash? And
you couldn't see anything. You could just see dirt, ash, and people walking around, broken trees.
There is zero historical precedent for a large commercial airplane and its passengers completely disintegrating upon impact, regardless of speed, cause, or crash site. What really happened near Shanksville, Pennsylvania on 9/11 remains a mystery. But one thing seems clear. A 757 did not crash intact into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
I don't exist, so they're all characters that I've played.
Kidnapping children is not what great nations do. For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
Oh, loved it. It's so beautiful. And having Michelle, Camilla Capella, that was also amazing. It was just a brilliant evening, really brilliant evening. Oh my gosh. Marshall Mulligan was off the hook. I mean, I can't believe he committed to doing all that.
And listen up, Wigga, because I have some elite Vol knowledge to share. We are constantly jumping timelines. Every possible version of yourself exists in an alternate dimension. You just have to tap into it. Let's talk about it. You see, jumping timelines isn't something that happens rarely. It's something that's happening every second of every day. The thoughts, beliefs, actions, and emotions you carry literally puts you on a timeline that energetically matches them. When you know this, you know that you don't have to stay stuck in outdated timelines. And you realize that you can change the trajectory of your life right now. You've definitely jumped timelines if you feel a sudden rush of renewed excitement. Jumping timelines will cause you to feel at peace, even during trials and tribulations. You will start to feel more aligned with your most authentic self. And you will start to feel more aligned with your goals, whether they're material or spiritual. You know you've jumped timelines if you're able to easily visualize the life you want for yourself. Staying stuck in outdated timelines can cause you to not be able to picture a good life for yourself vividly. It will always look murky and low resolution, but when you jump timelines, you're able to see the path ahead in complete HD format. Jumping timelines usually comes with an inner pattern change, which comes with aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with the journey you wish to embark on. It also comes with taking action as well, such as working on that project you've been pushing off, or separating yourself from that friend group that holds you back. All of these things compound heavily, and you will very quickly feel the shift. Once you feel the shift and you've noticed the energetic change, you have to hold it within yourself for as long as you can. Don't allow anything or anyone to bring you back down to that stagnant energy, and allow yourself to charge headfirst into the timeline you're destined to be on. All it takes is an inner pattern change and some action, and eventually everything falls into place.
So when DMT is made into an intravenous stable solution, we can hook it up to an anesthetic pump and through an IV maintain a level that is right for the participant. So it's rapidly metabolized, but through the continuous infusion, we can maintain whatever state they would like to be at.
We give them an initial bolus, and then we set a certain flow rate of milligrams a minute of DMT to sustain them there. And then with that anesthetic pump, we can adjust the amount of DMT flowing into them to really like target a comfortable DMT experience for them. As little as 30 minutes and as long as 5 hours is our longest experience that we've run so far.
So if I ever shave my face again, you'll know.
Lifting.
Thing. It's not our world.
None of this is real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Then I watched everybody like talking 1,000 miles an hour up there, receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead.
Why is everybody dying from cancer? That's why. Prostate cancer, colon cancer, stomach cancer. This is why. Ask yourself, what has changed over the last 20 years? And why is everybody dying from cancer? This right here. This is made from petroleum. When you take this bottle and you fill it up and you seal it up, this water's sitting in fumes for anywhere from 3 to 6 months. You want to know how I know? I used to own the largest bottled water company in Northern California called Hillcrest Springs Bottled Water. I'm telling you right now, the only thing that's really changed is the way we drink water. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We buy it for convenience. We give this to our children. We drink it. We leave it in our car. This is killing people.
I learned about this years ago. This is exactly why I have a reverse osmosis and drink out of glass containers, even to-go glass containers.
That's right, Grover. This is the fiction section. Fiction means it's a made-up story. Fiction means it's a made-up story.
Well, why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
The person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
First of all, lad, we've got to get all these medieval ideas out of your head. Clear the way for new ideas. Knowledge of man's fabulous discoveries in the centuries ahead. Now that'll be a great advantage, boy.
Advantage indeed. If the boy goes about saying the world is round, they'll take him for a lunatic.
The world is round? Yes, that's right. And it also goes around.
Ibo, what is this?
This is the Earth.
But why is it round?
Well, because the Earth is round.
My thing, the rest is you think the Earth is... Oh, rich.
Have you heard of the red shoe cult, I think it is? Nah. Ariana Grande exposed that she's in that recently. How? A lot of politicians, high influence people, all wear like red shoes in important like media day photos, and that's supposed to like bind the group, right? In the Oscars, she had two dresses, right?
Yeah.
One dress was normal, and then the other dress, though, I'll show you now. I want to see if you notice.
It looks like there's a shoe on her back.
Yeah, there is a shoe. It's a red heel pointing at her back. And I'm telling you, do your research on the Red Shoe Club. It's not for fashion that they're wearing the red shoe. It's literally, yo, brother, I'm with you. Like, you'll know that you're part of that group. She literally wore that in the biggest media. Why is there a heel on her back? Why a red heel?
Interesting.
And you know how in The Wizard of Oz, what does the witch make the people fight over? A red slipper. And Ariana Grande, there's theories of what? She's actually a witch. It's weird how they...
If I were a Jew, I'd be a Zionist. I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.
Proud to say that no U.S. administration has done more in support of Israel's security than ours.
The United States stands with Israel, now and forever.
We must stand with Israel.
Love Israel. I love Israel. I've been with Israel so long in terms of I've received some of my greatest honors from Israel.
Wake up.
All this money circulates in order for you to give it your precious energy. See, money's value is backed by labor. Without you in the mix, money has no meaning. The fact is, money is nothing but the product of a regular printing press. Anybody, anywhere, could print their own money. Of course, it will not be backed by the collective unconscious, but by an individual. You were divided so that they may rule. Money's common property, sure, but yours is yours and mine is mine, right?
Folks, whatever you do today, do not get involved in the No Kings rally, okay? Because No Kings is 35, which is 8, because 8 is God, right? God equals 17, which is 8, which is the sheep. Sheep equals 8, which is 26. No Kings is 8. This is made for the Goyim, okay? And look at the date. March 28, 2026. 3/28/2026. 23, which is 5, okay? Let me tell you this. Good people do not organize. I showed you the statistics yesterday, right? 0.07% of people are truthers. 25% of people are NPCs, non-player character ding-dong potato heads, right? And 65% of the people are in the satanic cabal. 65%, right? Look at the stats, right? For every one good person, there are 325 NPCs. And 845 evil occult members. Your friends, your family, your boss, they're all around you, man. And they are exposed and they are busted. Look at the sponsors. Look at the sponsors of No Kings. Yeah, this is just another event to separate the country, to cause chaos and cause problems. So if you want to do something real, to save this country, sign, share, and promote the Full Disclosure Act, because No Kings is just another secret society scam to cause chaos in the country, okay? No Kings, 35, 8. Sheep, 26, 8. God, 17, 8. They hate God. Sign, share, and promote the Full Disclosure Act. Wear lethal 22 clothes on the street. This is the most important thing you can do to let the occult know that they are busted. Peace.
The clearest image of United Flight 175 going into the South Tower was allegedly shot by amateur Michael Hezarkhani and obtained by CNN. The Hezarkhani footage has come to be known as Ghost Plane, and for good reason. The plane appears to pass through steel columns and the steel and concrete floors like a ghost. It doesn't twist, bend, slow down, break, or explode. We never see any damage occur to the airplane. After an edit, we see a big airplane-shaped hole. We don't know how much time is missing in this edit, and we never see the hole forming. This one image gives the game away. The right wing of the plane has passed beyond the wall, yet no damage has occurred. We know there's plenty enough picture quality to see the big gaping hole if it were there because of this later shot. This is taken with the same camera, same zoom, and we easily see the big dark hole.
ISIS and ISIL and the stand-up of that, okay? We saw videos of guys in orange jumpsuits being beheaded. We saw instance after instance, people being set on fire, people marched out on beaches. But then, on John McCain's laptop, when he was in the Ukraine, his laptop was hacked and a video was pulled down that showed the use of a green screen and how they were making these videos. It was a wag the dog, okay? Now you look at this video, and it's right here, it's proof. It's still up on YouTube, which I'm shocked they haven't taken it down yet. But look at this video and just look at the green screen behind them, look at the orange jumpsuits, look at all of the props and the lighting and the director, film directors, everything that's behind it. It's all an illusion. And so anybody can sit here and do this stuff. If you've got a big Hollywood type studio, you can produce quality data that is going to trick anybody, right? And then you've got the media who is on, as we're finding out, is all operated by the CIA. So folks, what they were doing was using this instance to fund their war, okay? Unchecked, unquestioned, Keep that in mind.
Listen, it's time to have that tough conversation with your parents. I had it last night. And the look on my mother's face when I told her that the owner of Macmillan Textbooks is Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, I could see I could see she was like, holy shit, I didn't realize that. Let's start having these conversations. Let's talk about how Jeffrey Epstein won the lottery 3 fucking times. You know, let's talk about the fact that we're currently in a war. America is at war right now. And the American politicians will not end the lockdown of Homeland Security. Like, you are at war right now without a functioning Homeland Security. It's hilarious. It's almost like they want America to be susceptible for an attack so that they can justify going even further into war. But they would never do something like that. 9/11!
Terminator is the prequels to the beginning of The Matrix. Sarah Connor is actually Neo's mother. So JC, John Connor's Jesus Christ, grows up to be Neo, one and the same in The Matrix. The Matrix is in the future. The Terminator is the past. It's time travel, past, present, and future time travel. It's the second coming of the Christ, the evolutions of consciousness, man versus the machine. So the machines, the Terminator machines, hear that a child is going to be born that's going to terminate them in the future when they oppress man. Because, see, it's the man versus the machine. It's God's children versus man's children, which is technology.
And listen up, my sweet little goy. All of the biblical events you obsess over are coming true, but not in the way you think. The book of Revelations is a playbook used by parasitic forces who seek to destroy you. Come take a look. To all the retards who think these so-called biblical events are authentic, just know that you're being played like a fool. The parasitic forces are orchestrating events in accordance to the book of Revelations, all so they can usher in the New World Order and the Great Reset. When you look at the war between Israel and Iran, think of it as an orchestrated mass ritual event designed to usher in Armageddon. After all, it's been reported that top military commanders are spewing rhetoric about how this war is ordained by God, making big claims that Donald Trump is anointed by God to carry out this war. Not only that, but the Jews believe that the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem has to be destroyed so that they can rebuild the third temple, thus ushering in the end of the world. Pretty crazy if you ask me. Want to know the craziest part about all of this? None of this is ordained by the one true creator of this world. All of these religious gods are nothing but war-mongering parasitic forces that have ruled over the earth for centuries. And the dark magicians that are orchestrating this war are absolutely consumed by these parasitic forces. Listen to me right now, my beautiful twink. If you are called for a draft to go fight in Iran, under no circumstances should you go, because you will be enlisted into a mass ritual sacrifice designed to bring forth Armageddon. The people that are orchestrating this conflict are literally rogue individuals who sacrifice children underground. Under no circumstances should you go fight for these twisted individuals, regardless of whatever punishment you may receive if you decide to ignore the draft. Realize that we live in a timeline where psychopaths are trying to usher in the end of the world, all so they can hold on to the last bit of power they're slowly losing.
And fuck the NWO, the Not Welcome Organization. You're not welcome here. Fucking losers. Bunch of fucking losers, dude. No hope. No hope. Not for those people. The Committee of 300. Bunch of losers. You know, it's so funny, these people claim to be the smartest people on this planet. But if you just watch what they're doing and what they've done, they're not very smart. Yeah, they pulled one over on us. But if you look at where we came from, the last reset, how the fuck are we supposed to know? Cabbage Patch Babies, the orphan trains and shit. How are we supposed to know? Beginning like that, you know? Didn't take very long for us to catch on, though. You know what I mean? But these people, you know, now that a lot of us are awake, just look at what they've done and how they went about doing it. Thinking they're so smart, so clever. I don't think so. No. No, I've met dumb people in my life that are way smarter than these people. You take away all their power, their money, their abilities, and these people would be the homeless you see out on the fucking street. They'd be those people. You know what I mean? Like, they couldn't survive in the society they have built. They couldn't thrive at all. They would die off. But we, you know, the ones who live and create their world and produce their things, we're living it every day. And these fucking losers, dude, dare and have dared to do this to all of us. And what really gets me is the things they are doing and have done to our children. That alone should have every single person out in the streets storming the fucking castle. That's why I ask, how much more is it going to take? I don't know, something to ponder, I guess. Think about it. Anybody has any info on any movements, any parades, any marching, anything to get back at these sons of bitches and their friggin' incest loving families? Because that's fucking gross all by itself. I mean, these people are nasty, dude. They're not human. I mean, wow. And they're not. They can't be human, dude. I don't believe it. I mean, they're definitely psychotic. All these people are psychopaths. They don't believe in a god. They believe that they're God, and they're scared shitless to die, which is why they're pushing for the transhumanism and the whole immortality thing. They're afraid. They're scared. Dude, take me out right now. I'm coming back. I already know it. I'm not afraid to die. I say bring it on. I will be back. I won't be this handsome guy you're looking at right now, but I will be back. And I vow to remember this life. I will remember. So when I do come back, oh, there's going to be hell to pay. Big time. But thank you for watching again, my fellow truthers, and stay tuned for the next episode and more knowledge coming your way. I love you. Take care. And keep an eye on your kids. Watch your kids. We out.